The Lord of the Rings, a cornerstone of modern fantasy, owes its enduring appeal to its meticulous world building, compelling characters, and the ever-present struggle between good and evil. Within this grand narrative, few creatures evoke as much dread and awe as the Balrogs. These towering beings of shadow and flame represent a primal force of destruction, capable of challenging even the most powerful heroes. This video delves into the details of the Balrogs, exploring their origins, powers, role in Middle-earth's history, and the lasting impact of Tolkien's legendarium. Greetings all, I'm your guide, the Archivist. Today I will look at the Balrogs, their origins, their influence on the events of Middle-earth, and their final fate. Before we begin, please remember to like the like and subscribe waystones down below, so that more people can learn from the archives. To understand the nature of the Balrogs, one must journey back to the very creation of Arda itself. Before the world existed, there was Ero Ilúvatar, the One, who created the Ainur, the first and mightiest of the Valar and Maiar. The Valar, like Manwë and Ulmo, shaped the physical world, while the Maiar served them as assistants and collaborators. The Balrogs were originally Maiar spirits, beings of immense power and potential. However, during the music of the Ainur, Melkor, later known as Morgoth, sowed discord with his own themes of power and domination. Some Maiar were drawn to his rebellious spirit, seduced by the promise of strength and the allure of reshaping the world according to their own will. These corrupted Maiar became the first and most terrible servants of Morgoth. Among them were the Balrogs. Therefore, the Balrogs were not inherently evil. They were beings of immense potential, capable of good, who chose to align themselves with darkness. This choice, driven by pride, a thirst for power, and a rejection of Ilúvatar's will, irrevocably shaped their destiny and transformed them into instruments of terror. The Balrogs are described as towering figures wreathed in shadow and flame. Their exact appearance remains somewhat ambiguous, fueling their fearsome reputation. They are often depicted as vaguely humanoid, but their forms are constantly shifting and obscured by the surrounding darkness. Tolkien himself provides varying descriptions, adding to the mystique and terror surrounding these creatures. They are beings of immense physical strength, capable of shattering stone and steel with ease. They wield whips of fire that crackle with dark energy and are also often armed with swords or axes of black iron. Their fiery nature is not merely aesthetic, it is an integral part of their being, allowing them to manipulate and control flames, creating infernos and shadows at will. Importantly, Balrogs are not simply creatures of fire. The phrase shadow and flame is crucial to understanding their nature. The shadow represents the corruption and perversion of their original essence, a blotting out of their former light. The flame represents their raw power and the destructive force they wield in the service of Morgoth and later Sauron. This duality makes them formidable opponents, embodying both physical might and spiritual corruption. The Balrogs' power extends far beyond their physical prowess. They possess a range of abilities that make them incredibly dangerous foes. Control over fire and shadow. As mentioned before, they can manipulate fire and shadow, creating devastating attacks and obscuring their presence. Durability and resistance. They are incredibly resilient, able to withstand blows that would crush ordinary beings. This durability is likely tied to their spiritual nature as Maiar. Fear and terror. Their presence alone inspires fear and dread in those who oppose them. This psychological warfare weakens their enemies before any physical conflict even begins. And magical abilities. While not explicitly detailed, it implies that It is implied that Balrogs possess innate magical abilities stemming from their nature as Maiar. These abilities likely augment their powers and contribute to their overall aura of menace. The Balrogs played a significant role in the early ages of Middle-earth, serving as Morgoth's elite bodyguard and generals. They fought in the great battles against the Elves and the Valar, wreaking havoc and destruction. They were instrumental in the fall of Gondolin, a hidden elven city, where Gothmog, the Lord of Balrogs, led the assault. After Morgoth's defeat in the War of Wrath and his banishment from Arda, many Balrogs fled and went into hiding in the deepest and darkest places of the world. One such Balrog, later known as Durin's Bane, burrowed deep beneath the misty mountains, eventually settling in the ancient dwarven kingdom of Khazad-dûm. In the Third Age, the dwarves of Khazad-dûm, driven by greed and a relentless pursuit of mithril, delved too deep and disturbed the Balrog in its slumber. Durin's Bane unleashed its fury, killing King Durin IV and his son Nain I, forcing the dwarves to flee their ancestral home. This event marked the end of Khazad-dûm's glory and transformed it into a haunted and desolate mines of Moria. The Balrog of Moria remained a lurking threat for centuries until the Fellowship of the Ring stumbled upon it during their quest to destroy the One Ring. In a climactic confrontation, Gandalf the Grey faced Durin's Bane on the bridge of Khazad-dûm. The battle resulted in both falling into the abyss, a testament to the Balrog's formidable power and Gandalf's ultimate sacrifice. The encounter between Gandalf and Durin's Bane in Moria is arguably the most famous depiction of a Balrog in Tolkien's works. It showcases their immense power, their terrifying presence, and the cost of confronting such ancient evil. The battle on the bridge of Khazad-dûm, with Gandalf's iconic line, "You shall not pass," cemented the Balrog's place as a formidable and iconic creature in fantasy literature. While Durin's Bane is not the only Balrog explicitly encountered in The Lord of the Rings, their legacy looms large over the entire narrative. They represent the enduring threat of Morgoth's corruption and the potential for even the most powerful beings to fall to darkness. They serve as a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming odds, courage and sacrifice are essential in the fight against evil. The Balrogs, creatures of shadow and flame, are far more than just monstrous adversities in The Lord of the Rings. They are rich symbols of corruption, power, and the enduring legacy of evil. Their origins as Maiar spirits, their terrifying appearance, their formidable abilities, and their pivotal role in Middle-earth's history all contribute to their enduring appeal and their position as some of the most iconic creatures in fantasy literature. From the fall of Gondolin to the depths of Moria, the Balrog represents the ultimate test for heroes, a challenge that demands courage, sacrifice, and unwavering commitment to fighting against darkness. Their presence continues to resonate within Tolkien's world and beyond, reminding us of the eternal struggle between good and evil and the devastating consequences of succumbing to the allure of power. And so I have now covered the content for this video. If there's anything that has been missed, please share it in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this content, please remember to like and subscribe waypoints down below. Now Luego Van Advan, until we meet again.